Okay, it looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. We are coming to you live. It's Adele from Raw Credits, obviously, and I'm joined by the amazing So from So's Real Thoughts. Thank you for joining me.
No problem. I'm here in LA. It's so insane that you're like on the other side of the world.
In the future.
Yes.
Yes, because it's early in the morning on a Saturday morning. So I'm already enjoying the weekend. For me, the weekend's already begun.
Oh my God. Fantastic.
So we are going to be doing some Oscar discussions, just having a bit of a wrap up. I feel like we've both talked a lot about the Oscars on our respective channels already. In fact, not heaps of people talk about the Oscars, heaps of YouTubers, like movie geeks and stuff. I've been following what you've been saying about the Oscars, and it gets me really excited to see like another Oscars fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna have a little bit of a chat. This is my first ever live stream on the channel, so I am very excited. I don't know quite how it all works, so we're going to take it slow. We're going to ease into it. No pressure. It's a very chill discussion. Please shout out if there's any technical difficulties happening or if there's any settings I need to change on my end. And yeah,
if there's like a way, because I just see myself on the screen.
Oh, it's just you.
So I'm like, what's going on? I see.
Is that better? No. Am I a little box in the window, or is it all you?
I think it's all me, and then I see an icon of you in the corner. I wonder if there's a way we can just see both of us.
Look, this is the
I see you.
Fun of live streams. Okay, so clearly it's me that has to control this.
Yes.
I have to press who's talking.
Yes.
Maybe there's a way I can do it automatically, but before I had it pressed on you because I wanted to obviously see you while I was talking to you, but clearly that shows. Anyway,
you made it work.
Hi everybody. I want to be able to pull up the chat. So to do that, I need to go into YouTube, don't I? Do I go into edit? Oh, I've got my coffee. It's really early.
You can go.
Oh, my live control room. There we go. That's what you said. Okay. Ooh, our stream status is just okay. All right. Well, I hope everyone can see us all right. And I hope I can see people starting to join us in the chats. Hey, Sia, K-Vlogs. Good. He's telling us that everything is fine, clear, and loud. Okay, good. That's what we want. So I would like to be able to make it so I don't have to flick between us. But if anyone knows the setting to do that, please yell out. But in the meantime, enough of that. Let's just dive into our conversation and get this going. So the 90th Oscars, you watched this live, didn't you?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like every year I'm like bashing on all the nominations and sometimes all the snubs. But this year I felt like was just perfect. Just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, which I was really sad about. Because for me, it was a weekday, it was Monday, and I was at work, and I was sort of live streaming in the background while I was working. So it was kind of annoying. I did see sections of it, but I didn't see the whole thing like from start to finish, which is maybe a good thing because I hear it was one of the longest Oscars broadcasts. It was like 4 hours. Is that right?
It was about 3 hours. I just expect everything to be that long all the time. But it did feel unusually long for this year.
Do you watch like the red carpets and all the pre-show stuff as well?
I try to just so I can see some of the outfits, but it goes so long that I'm just like, okay, when does it start? And it started at 8:30 for us. So I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna be here till 9, so I better I better get ready.
And who was the best dressed for you?
Oh my God, I don't even. I honestly can't remember besides Timothy Chalamet in that all white suit. He looked so good.
He was, I mean, he's gorgeous, but I saw on the red carpet, I actually tweeted about it. I took a screenshot. He was like holding his mum's hand as he was doing the red carpet interviews. And I was like, oh, that's really cute. I don't know if that was like a PR thing. If someone said, oh, you should hold your mum's hand, that would look really sweet. But it looked really sweet.
Yeah, I feel like he's just like the coolest person ever.
Do you think he should have won?
You know, I didn't see that Gary Oldman film, so I can't really say, but I did love his performance so much. And I feel like that category was so stacked, especially because Daniel Day-Lewis was also nominated, and that's his last film. And I'm like, well, even though it's so great, I feel like he would have other opportunities to get nominated. So
true. I know. So I feel like they call it like a career win when it's like, I think when it's like they don't quite deserve it maybe for that particular film, but their body of work that's behind them, it's like they're very deserving.
It's like the opposite of Emma Stone last year. Like, I don't think she deserved it for La La Land because she's done so many before that I was like, oh my God, she should have won.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are saying that about Alison Janney, who won for Best Supporting Actress. I think, and I kind of, that character in Actor, it's a difficult character. It's a difficult character to relate to, and she really pulls it off. She's like this nasty, difficult, complex woman, but at the same time, I feel like it was a bit one note. I don't know if it showed any range, and I think that she's done better performances. So I would consider her win more of a career win, maybe.
I wonder, because I don't know if I've seen her in too many things that are like notable. I think this was the first role that I saw her in I, Tonya, where I was like, holy crap, she's very scary. And I truly do not like this person. I feel like when you hate a character that much and she's able to portray somebody real, then I feel like she's done a good job. Because I know she's on CBS show. Something Moms or but I felt like this one I was like, okay, she's totally gonna at least get nominated, if not, probably
win, which she did. Which everyone saw coming. So I guess how we'll just structure this live stream, we'll just have a little bit of a discussion. I have a few things that I wanted to kind of go over, and then we'll open it up to some questions if people have some questions to ask us. Some discussion topics, any thoughts, any rants, any raves about the Oscars. We'll dive into some questions. But I think the first one I really wanted to ask you, did you do an Oscars ballot? Because I know you did your Oscar predictions. I don't know if you actually like wrote them all down. Did you count them all up? How did you go with your predictions?
I think I got like half. I felt very satisfied. I know that for sure while I was watching it, and I did an actual like a live reaction to each of the winners, and I felt like I got them mostly correct. Yeah. And so I'm really happy about that. There was one or two that I was very indifferent about, so I didn't really mind. But for ones like Best Director, Guillermo del Toro, so excited. I feel like he's done so much previously to have finally won this one is really satisfying. That, as well as Jordan Peele for Best Original Screenplay, and I mean, I feel like this year was pretty standard. There wasn't any big surprises like last year with Moonlight.
I know.
Yeah, it was like really, really shocking. So I feel like this year it went as predicted, which I'm really happy about. but also it felt a little boring on my part.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of been a bit of an overall consensus. A lot of people are saying that there wasn't much, it was really safe. I don't know. It's just like there wasn't anything that really, like all the presenters were really safe. Jimmy Kimmel's monologue was really safe. He didn't like spend the first 20 minutes poking fun at everybody. He kind of kept it really civilized, and it was playful, but it definitely wasn't pushing any buttons. It was really safe across the board, and in some ways, I don't know, that I kind of made it a little bit like
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, as much as I really love Jimmy Kimmel, and as much as his intro and monologues were really important because he talked about really notable issues, I feel like there needed to be a little bit of edge. I don't mean like Seth MacFarlane edge, but just like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey edge. So yeah. So that's why when Tiffany Haddish and Maya Rudolph came out, I was so excited because it was the first like big laugh of the night, and they were just so great, so much chemistry, and I'm like, I need that throughout the whole show rather than just that part.
They were so hilarious, and it felt like they were working the room as well. They weren't just reading off cards. They were actually reading the room, more like a comedy kind of routine, just keeping it light, keeping it fun. Yeah, it was hilarious. They were hilarious together. And the way they were like holding their shoes as they came on stage, I was like, this is so good.
Yeah, I love them. I'm hoping, because PTA wanted to work with Tiffany Haddish. And he was like, I don't know if it was the Gotham Awards. He was like, I need your number. I hope they get together and make a rom-com of some sorts. That'd be insane. Just because PTA hasn't ever done like a comedy film. Well, he has, but not like straight comedy. Very dark comedy.
What's his comedy film? I don't know. Have I ever seen any of his comedy films?
I feel like Boogie Nights is almost like comedic, but it's just dark comedy because there are moments where you're like, ha 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 ha, but not really, Yeah.
I can't imagine him doing a rom-com. That would be weird.
I feel like Phantom Thread in a different light, it could definitely be a rom-com.
Phantom Thread as a rom-com?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they movie?
It would just, I feel it'll definitely still be very dark. But
And do you really think Daniel Day-Lewis is retiring? Do you really think that's it? Do you think Phantom Thread is his final performance that we're ever going to see him in? Like, I know he's retired, but I just think that he's like retired as in he's going to take a career break, but I don't think he'll be away forever.
I feel like he's such a serious person and sticks to his word that when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it all the way. I mean, he is a method actor. And for him to say that this is his last film, I'm like so crushed because he really is like my ultimate favorite actor. And so, yeah, I believe him. But to have ended his career on this note, I feel very satisfied because Phantom Thread is like one hell of a movie. And every time I look at him, I'm just like,
so you are satisfied? You enjoyed his performance in Phantom Thread?
I was quite surprised because he's done so many different roles that I wondered if he could bring something different to the table. And it was different. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. I found it quite a difficult movie to process. I don't know, to digest maybe. But
it took me at least a week to finally be like, all right, I love this movie. Like, it really gets you.
Yeah, I don't know if I love the movie. I did love the performances, and I loved the girl. What's her name? Vicky Creeps.
Yeah. Oh my God. She was amazing.
Wow. Like, wow. She was amazing. So she's from Luxembourg. She's a Luxembourgian actress.
Nice.
And yeah, she was incredible. I really think she matched him as well, really well.
Sure. She stole every scene that she was in, so I'm very happy about that.
I really want to see what she does next. I was also going to ask, so who were your favorite presenters of the night? Was it Maya Rudolph and Tiffany Haddish?
Probably. Those are the most memorable.
Anyone you didn't like? I have the list of presenters here. I'll tell you who
Tell me who you didn't like or liked.
Well, I mean, there's no one that I didn't like, really, but I did feel like Christopher Walken was a bit odd. I don't know. I just found him an odd choice. Maybe he just didn't really seem to fit the presenters, and some of the pairings as well. I thought were a little bit strange. Like some of them I understood because they'd maybe worked together. Like I liked. Was it Jodie Foster and Jennifer Lawrence coming out together? Because that was really sweet. But yeah, some of the pairings I thought were a bit, I don't know, or maybe a little bit strange. Yeah, I'm just going through the list. Oh, Tom Holland and Gina Rodriguez. They're so cute.
I'm kind of surprised that he's at the Oscars presenting, because I don't think he's been in anything in that kind of genre.
Who?
Tom Holland.
Oh, Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Guess he's just kind of a big deal right now.
I guess so.
He's the hottest new thing, behind Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't.
I felt like the Star Wars guys. I mean,
I love them. I thought that was really sweet, only because Star Wars never really gets recognition for being like a top tier film, like a blockbuster. They're always categorized as that, and so to kind of see them, and especially with the new generation and the old generation, I thought that was really great.
Mark Hamill's great. He always kind of pokes fun at himself, which I like. He never takes himself too seriously. I think I just saw that he just got a star.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling that he just got a star.
So he just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah, I think that is actually kind of mind-boggling, because when I saw that, I thought, really? He hasn't already got a star?
He's a legend. I don't understand why not. So,
yeah, definitely. Anyone else? Any other presenters that stood out to you?
There were two. There was Lupita Nyong'o, as well as
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yes.
Coming out together was great. And then they say, we're the two people in Hollywood whose names you can't pronounce. I was like, yes.
Oh my God. Took a while, but you learn. And I love them. They're so great.
Yeah, they're hilarious. In fact, that kind of leads me on to the Oscar montages in general, which I thought were so stellar. I thought the Oscar montages were they were like little mini film essays or
for sure
artistic reels. Yeah, the way that they had been cut together was top notch I thought I've ever seen. It wasn't cheesy. They really put a lot of work into it.
I'm kind of surprised because they're always joking about how long the Oscars is, and I'm like, you guys put these montages which are basically 3 minutes long. I love them, but also if you really want to cut time, you would get rid of those. But I really enjoyed them. They were just perfectly done, and it really set the mood for what I also really loved is that they brought, because it was the 90th Academy Awards, oh my God, that they brought past winners like Rita Moreno, and they did bring Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty.
Yeah, they had to bring them back to end out the show.
For sure.
Because I liked how they just they went there with it. They weren't going it didn't happen and brush it under the rug. Just bring him back.
Yeah,
let's do a round 2.
Oh my God, my favorite part was when Guillermo del Toro won Best Picture for The Shape of Water, that he like checked the card just to see it was right, and he was like, "Yes, it is." It was just like the sweetest moment. Like I've been watching that GIF for like on replay forever, just because it's such a pure.
Yeah, because doesn't he like he like has the biggest cheesy grin. He is such a man child. I don't know. He like is just such a big kid in his body.
There was a picture circulating on Twitter where I think in the 2013 Oscars, instead of going to the Oscars, Ryan Gosling and Guillermo del Toro went to Disneyland. And they were.
I'm sorry, what?
They were like riding rides. I'll send it to you. It's hilarious and so sweet because I'm like, yes, I love these like doing regular Tad-like things. So.
Well, speaking of moments that were delightful, including Del Toro, checking the card and his face when he went and won The Shape of Water for Best Picture. Another moment that was long overdue and just made me smile so much was Roger Deakins winning for Best Cinematography on Blade Runner.
Oh my God. It made me so emotional. I mean, 14 nominations, and this is his first win, is just like ridiculous. But ridiculous. I'm glad that it was time. It was really time.
Yeah, it was good. And his acceptance speech was awesome. He like just seems like such a cool dude. He was just like, and that's an award that wasn't just for Blade Runner, even though he really deserved to win for Blade Runner. And that's like one of his, standout films. And if there's any film that he does deserve to finally take the Oscar home for, I'm glad that it's Blade Runner. But also, it also felt like a career win for him because he's done so much amazing work again and again and again. So when he got up there and he was like, I've been doing this for so long. It's not just me, it's the whole team. It just really felt like, he was just acknowledging it for all his work in the past as well as for Blade Runner.
Oh, so great. Blade Runner is something I could just watch. Oh, I was so taken aback.
I need to rewatch Blade Runner. I have only seen it the one time in the cinema. I need to rewatch it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I watched it on like IMAX on like the biggest screen I could possibly find, and I was just like soaking in it.
In the beauty.
Yeah.
Actually, just a little bit off topic, but Blade Runner, this made me think of it, and talking about incredible, like top-notch cinematography. Did you see Duncan Jones' Netflix original movie, Mute?
I have.
I also have, just recently.
Maybe we should talk about it later because I am like into the cyberpunk aesthetic. So I'm like a trash for it. So I'll watch whatever. So I have a lot of thoughts.
I also have a lot of thoughts. And I think that anyone who tries to compare Blade Runner 2049 or maybe the original Blade Runner 2 with Mute would be dangerous ground because they are apples and oranges. Do not compare them.
No comparison at all. Very same genre, same world, but
different beasts. Yeah. Okay, we should have a chat about that because I have a lot of thoughts.
For sure. Oh my God, I can't even get into that. It's just. Oof.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Okay, moving on. The other question I wanted to ask you was, okay, Shape of Water won for Best Picture. I actually picked that. I guessed that would be the one that would win. I was really torn. I was sure it was like three horse race for Best Picture. I was sure it was either going to be Shape of Water, Get Out, or Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And the last minute, I just went with Shape of Water because I thought that was like the craft of it would be more appreciated by everybody. And then also keep in mind now that the Oscars is like preferential voting system for best, for best picture, that it doesn't have to be the one that they pick as number one, but if they pick it as number 2 or number 3 or number 4, like those votes can add up and can make it win number 1. So I was like, okay, the more universally appreciated is probably going to be Shape of Water.
Yeah, for sure. Because I felt like, I know they always say film independence, like a day before, it's like this award show in LA where they do independent films, and Get Out won for Best Picture for that. And usually it kind of predicts what may win at the Oscars. In this case, like there was a big prediction that Get Out would win Best Picture, but I was like, oh my God, that's so like, it's such a dream. But definitely safe bet is The Shape of Water because I loved it. I know there's mixed feelings about it, but I feel like when I watched it, like hands down, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I feel like no matter where you're from or how old you are, you can still feel like appreciate.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't my favorite film, but I definitely appreciated the beauty of it and the kind of story that it was trying to tell, which was like an outsider, story about being different. And I am all for an inverted fairy tale where the love interest, i.e. like the prince, does not turn back into a handsome prince, but he is what he is. And if he's going to be an amphibian man, he's going to stay an amphibian man. So I appreciated that. I really do think that was kind of different, But I mean, for that to be a mainstream Hollywood movie, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sure a lot of people were like skeptical. Like, I think the trailer really throws it off because a lot of my friends were like, I don't really want to watch that about like a fish man. And I for one didn't watch anything. So when I went in and finished, I was so blown away by everything, just the progression of the story. I guess I would have thought differently if I had seen a trailer and I'd be like, ooh, what is that?
Yeah, trailers can be tricky.
Yeah.
And so I think we both agree that The Shape of Water was very deserving to win. But who would have won number 2? Who would have been the runner-up if there would be a runner-up award?
Best Picture.
For Best Picture.
Oh. Well, as I didn't watch 3 Billboards, so I can't really say too much. I felt like it could have won or had a big chance of winning because it won at the Golden Globes. And right?
That's right.
And so I mean, I would have loved Get Out to win. That would have been the real shocker. Like it would have made history again, and it would just make the award show that much more fun. Just because they picked something that you would have never thought would have won, possibly.
Yeah. So that's your answer?
Yeah.
Number 2? Yeah. Would be Get Out. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I also agree. Number 2, the runner-up award would have gone to Get Out if they had done runner-up awards. I think, as well, I gotta say, the love for Get Out is unbelievable. That movie has been around for like nearly like 10, 11 months since its first release back in March, April, whenever it came out last year. When it first came out, I was one of those people that was like, this is a really amazing movie. Let's move on. I did not think that it would come back around and stick around so long and make it through to the award season. So I was like genuinely.
Because it literally came out maybe before the last year's Oscar. And so to have that kind of longevity is quite shocking. Especially because they put all the shitty movies like in January, February, March, and I feel like things are really turning around. So I'm really glad that it was able to persist because it felt like an underdog for sure. And quite a surprise.
It is nice to see. I mean, I think that's partly what the Oscars is about. I mean, I like seeing those sort of more underdog type movies. I know that Jimmy Kimmel made a comment about how Black Panther grossed more money at the box office than all these Best Picture nominated movies combined, which I think was kind of funny. that the Oscars really does. The movies that are nominated, they're not the biggest grossing films.
For sure. I don't think that they're supposed, like, I feel like the more they gross, the less is likely to win at the Oscars, or that's how it feels like it's been, because besides special effects, I don't know if we'll ever see Star Wars ever being nominated for, Best Picture. Besides Titanic, I feel like Titanic, I'm guessing it got nominated for Best Picture, and that grossed an amount of money.
Yeah, that's true. So on that note, do you think that we will ever see in the future, like, those bigger movies be nominated? There was a lot of talk. Jimmy Kimmel mentioned Black Panther, and he mentioned Wonder Woman. Is there any chance that we would ever see those movies in the Best Picture category?
Oh, man. There is a strong possibility. I feel like this year more than ever, there's so many contenders. So there is a big chance Black Panther might get nominated next year for even like special effects, Best Actor possibly for Michael B. Jordan maybe.
So good. Oh my God, so good.
But also there is the rest of the year, so we have no idea who's going to be coming up and whose performances that we'll like fall in love with. But just to have that kind of, they're gonna have to fight pretty hard for that one. But they're already making a lot of history for being almost a top grossing Marvel film, I think. So
yeah, I agree. Did you also think that they really made a feature of the Black Panther cast that were in the audience? Danai Guerrera was in the audience. I just feel like they cut to them a lot during the telecast or whatever.
Really?
I felt like they were really, really emphasizing that the Black Panther crew were in the house.
Oh, I didn't see her. I know they cut to like Lupita. I did see like, oh, Chadwick Boseman. I did see him.
Yeah, they cut to him a lot. I feel like they cut to him a lot. Maybe that's just, they're the bits that I happen to tune in for. Because like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing. But every time I tuned in or looked across the screen at my other computer where I secretly had my live stream going, I felt like they had cut to him to get his like reactions.
It was like the movie just released and it was getting so much hype that it would probably make people more excited to see them.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's bang on. I think that's exactly it. I'm just looking at some of the chats going on. People are tuning in. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I feel like a lot of people are a bit over talking about the Oscars because it's like 5 days ago, is it, that the Oscars were on? Everyone's like, it's so over, it's so done. But we're still chatting about it. So thanks everyone for joining in. Somebody said, Jonathan Morin said Lord of the Rings Return of the King was a big movie that was nominated. Was that nominated for Best Picture? Return of the King?
I don't remember, but I know for like special effects, probably sound editing, sound
and as for some snubs, what about Logan? King Hush Hush said Logan, and The Florida Project, super snubbed. Did you see The Florida Project?
Ah, for sure. Sean's actually my friend, so.
Get out! That's cool. Oh my God, it was incredible.
I love his films, and like I feel like he just like one-upped himself because I was so in love with Tangerine, and to see The Florida Project, which actually got into the Oscars fortnight. I mean the Cannes fortnight. It's just like so amazing and really deserving because he's been working like so hard for like this one moment. And so I was so excited. Everything about that film, I'm kind of like,
I like such an incredible film. I'm sad to have seen it snubbed. I think if there was one main snub this year, it would be the Florida Project not getting
as much love.
Something else. Like I know Willem Dafoe was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and that's something, but I would have liked to have seen something for something else. I don't know what. I would have liked to have seen it somewhere else in some of the other categories.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think like William Dafoe has done better things. I'm not sure he should have been nominated for that specific role.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Because there were a lot of parts, like even cinematography should have been nominated. They shot on like actual film and it just looked so beautiful. And yeah, there's a lot of snubs there for sure. I think somebody said, random man said, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King won all of 11 of his Oscars that it was nominated for, including Best Picture. Okay, great.
Well, I am a true Lord of the Rings nerd, so I should have known that. Yeah, anyway.
They did mention how Your Name was snubbed, which was this animated film, which I haven't watched, but I've heard so many good things about it.
I have seen it. I have seen it. Oh yeah. Well, you know, I can't really talk about the animated category. I cannot talk about it. I'll get upset because for real, I hated the nominations in that category. Coco is fabulous. I don't mind that it won at all. I just think that The Boss Baby makes me really angry.
So because of the nomination, I was like, all right, I will watch The Boss Baby. Like, I will go through it.
I thought that too. I was going to watch it just because it was nominated. I was tweeting about it. I was like, I'm doing my Oscars research. Should I watch The Boss Baby? Yeah. And then I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I just couldn't do it. Did you watch it? What did you think?
I did watch it. I understand why it got nominated because it is very immersive. Like it is very detailed and just the way that they kind of take you into the story and the transitions, I just thought was like beautiful. And at the very end, I was kind of overwhelmed with emotions. I think it's on Netflix. Watch it. I think yeah, it's fun. It really is just like a fun movie. So
okay, but is it Oscar worthy?
I can't say because there were so many animated films that I haven't watched. I recently watched The Breadwinner, which is beautiful, and it's so different. Like I can't really say what is the best animated film because they were all so unique in each, you know. Yeah.
Yes, but the Breadwinner, I also watched it and I thought it was fantastic. I think it definitely deserved to be there. Look, I guess at the end of the day, I would have just liked to have seen a little bit more variety in the animated feature category. And yes, it would be nice to see an anime in there for sure. So yeah, Your Name or I think that was one of the bigger anime from last year. I also wanted to ask you, so looking at Best Picture, and then I want to turn it over and ask some questions. So if you guys watching have some questions, please ask them in the live chat. But my last question what I wanted to ask was, do you think that 9 nominations for Best Picture is too many? Do you think that they should go back to the original 5 I think they used to do?
Ooh.
Like, is 9 a lot? Do you think every single nominated Best Picture movie deserved to be there? Or do you think they're just kind of opening the net a bit too wide?
Well, initially I thought that they usually pick 10 films. And so it just even getting to 9, I was like, oh, okay. So it's like kind of free range. They don't have to specifically pick 10. I also wonder if they did that just to boost ticket sales because most people want to do the whole ballot and want to watch everything and kind of vote with everybody. And so they have to watch everything. I still think because there's so many films that are out there that it's always nice to have a little bit more than usual. But also because if they went back to 5, I think the level of anticipation will be a lot greater because the risks are like, not, is it high? I can't really say. It feels like a prestigious place that they'll have to really, really fight for it. So maybe they should go back. I don't know. Maybe up the stakes a little bit.
Yeah. I also, I mean, I was kind of just putting it out there. I just felt like The Post got a nomination based on its team, as opposed to the merit of the film and the story. I'm not saying it's a bad film by any means, but I don't think it deserved to get a Best Picture nomination. It's just because it was Steven Spielberg and Meryl and Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? It was just because of that prestige packaging that sort of came with the project. I don't think it's because of the movie. So I don't know why. Like, I thought that was just thrown in there, just thrown in there as an afterthought.
I don't remember it. Like, I can't. Yeah, I didn't even know it was nominated for Best Picture.
Oh, there were so many shows that you didn't even care.
Like, whoa! I forgot that it. You know.
Yeah. It got nominated. Yeah, it was just like a pat on the back. There, The Post. You can have a nomination. That's what it felt like to me anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'm confused. I guess I'm just personally a bit confused why it's free range and it can be any number of films. Like, I mean, I don't know how it really works. I don't know how they choose them all, but I felt like if there was a restricted number, like if it was only 5 or if it was only 10, I mean, I know 10's quite a lot, but then you would know that they're the one. Yeah, the prestige. I think you just mentioned it before. They would just be a bit more prestigious, maybe. Anyway, I just thought it was an interesting thought. I actually heard someone else ask the question, and that made me think, what do I think about it? Yeah. Anyway. There you go. You did not even remember that The Post was there. Nobody did. That's why.
Nobody did. Someone asked, CRK Vlogs asked, which category do you think should be added in the coming years?
Ooh, good question. Okay. What
do you think?
I don't know about a category added, but this question does make me think of a category subtracted. I know a lot of people were talking about sound editing and sound mixing, maybe combining into one sort of sound award.
Yeah.
And I know that would make any sound people out there absolutely furious. But I mean, when they're going to nominate the same movies across both categories, I understand that there are different teams involved and it's a different skill set and all of that. But I don't know. It just seems a bit redundant to me. What do you think?
I mean, I think I still kind of get confused, but at the same time, like, I understand why they have 2 different categories. But yeah, I think just for another category being added, I would love to see Best Stunt Actor, Actress. Just because when I think about John Wick 2, I loved it so much. Action films like that should get awarded. And there's a lot of.
I didn't see the second one. I didn't see John Wick 2.
Well, John Wick 1 just the same. I think both should have gone nominated, just as good. So, if that would be my category.
That's a good one. Or Logan Carl has said one which I'm going to steal as my answer, and that is motion capture. just because I want to see Andy Serkis get some recognition.
Oh my God, for sure. I loved him so much for like ever, especially in Black Panther. Ugh, I'm so sad that I don't know. I mean, I don't, no spoiler alert, but I wish he was there a little bit longer.
Yeah, yeah. It was so nice to see him as a person, just to see him in his own face, like do his own character, as opposed to like mocapping and not being able to see who he is. In Black Panther, I thought he was just fantastic in Black Panther. He is so good. He's such a great actor in his own right. Plus, he does that extra level of mocap, and he is unrecognizable in the Apes movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Gollum has my heart forever. Like, he's just so good. He needs some kind of recognition. Come on.
But I feel like he's already a legend at this point. People know his name, what he can do, and there's nobody else that I don't even know if there will be any other nominees with him because he's the best.
Yeah, he is the best. Let me have a look if there's any other questions. What about, should there be a People's Choice Award or fan favorite?
I don't know if at the Oscars there should be, because they're voted by the people in the Academy, and I feel like they've been doing it for so long, both in front of the camera and behind, that they know it the best. I think if it was like, there's the People Choice Awards, and I feel like those are the right kind of places that should have those kind of categories. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although it does make me think of something else when you say that the Academy, they're the people that work in the industry voting their peers. I did hear somebody talking about how the feature film category always goes to Disney Pixar because they just keep winning and they keep getting into the Academy, and then they just keep voting themselves. And it's just like this self-perpetuating, I was going to say something rude. Yeah, I don't know, just like this never-ending circle.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any truth or weight to that, but it's just something I read.
I don't know if I've seen it happen, but I believe it. I totally believe it, just because Disney is so powerful.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they do, and they put out solid work, no denying that, but they're definitely they've just got a monopoly like nobody's business. What about, sorry, what were we going to say?
Film of this year.
So sorry, I missed that. Say that one more time.
What's your most anticipated film of this year?
Oh, well, I did a list. I did a top 10 anticipated films, and I'm pretty sure my number one had to be Avengers Infinity War. It just had to. I'm super pumped. I mean, I love like the arty, intelligent movies. Don't get me wrong. I love those thinking movies where I'm, after the credits have rolled, I'm like thinking and like dreaming about what it all means. But let's be real. I love my superhero movies too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited just because I don't know. This is 10 years in the making, and it's finally this moment. So we're living in the Marvel age right now.
I know. We totally are. Do you reckon there'll ever be a time when Marvel gets its own category at the Oscars?
Oh my God. I'm not even, that's too much to think about. I feel like they know the kind of impact that they have, and I don't know if they need the award because they make so much money. It's almost better for them. Yeah. But
that
maybe it would be a time. Maybe Black Panther, it'll finally happen. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? All right. I think if there's like one or two more questions, otherwise, I think we're coming up to our hour. We've been chatting for nearly an hour. I don't know how long, but that's a pretty good chat.
I know that other people have pointed this out, but for myself as well, I'm really excited for Suspiria because it's one of my favorite films ever. And to have it be remade is kind of traumatizing. But at the same time, Luca Guadagnino is like a person I trust, especially because he's Italian. And maybe he can kind of bring the giallo, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're excited because every time they try and remake something that I love, I'm one of those like people that like curl up into a ball and I'm like, no, the original is best. The original, the original.
I can't. Yeah, I always like hearing Mary Poppins get remade. I'm just like, oh my god, what is going on?
I mean, I love Emily Blunt, but
yeah, me too. I love Emily.
I just have to keep reminding myself, I'm like, the remake is not for me. It's for the younger, like for the next generation. I got the original.
Like Jumanji, I watched the remake or the sequel, and definitely like I have to think about it. It's made for this specific generation, and nothing will replace that. They're just trying to put a new spin on it.
Yes.
And if I think about it like that, I enjoyed it.
Enjoy it for what it is.
For what it is, for sure. Yeah.
For what it could be? No, not for what it should be. No. Just enjoy it for what it is. Actually, one more note. Was there any upsets at the Oscars? Like, was there anything that kind of made you go, "Ooh, don't know about that"?
Not like complete upset, but I really wanted Johnny Greenwood to win for the Phantom Thread soundtrack score. Andre Desplat winning for The Shape of Water is deserved because he's a jam genius. But it was, I mean, I can't even compare because they're both so great and both scores were incredible. But just a little bit more Johnny Greenwood would have been fantastic as a big fan. So.
I have to go back and listen to the Phantom Thread soundtrack on score. I don't think that I've re-listened to it outside of watching the movie just once. So yeah, I need to go and do that. What do you think about Kobe Bryant winning for his animated short film?
I haven't watched it.
No, I haven't watched it.
I admire Kobe as an athlete so much, but at the same time as a person, and I know like his sexual assault allegations kind of came back in the news circuit, and I was just like, oh my god, I totally forgot about that for a second. And
no, I did too, but it's not just allegations. Can I just say, like, there's evidence. Yes, it hasn't gone to court, and yes, he was not convicted, but
he's so powerful. I feel
he's a rapist.
I believe it for sure.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit disappointed by that. I know, I understand that at some level you have to separate the work from the personal life, not like personal life in general, not just like those kind of things. I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed.
Even with Gary Oldman, I've heard several things. So it is it's a toughie, but I feel like we're making so much progress, just like baby steps, one step at a time.
Yeah. And what about Casey Affleck was nowhere to be seen. He's got all those sexual harassment allegations. He's fighting. Yeah.
I'm glad that he didn't even come to the party. Also because he's probably like a coward to face the media bombarding him with all these questions at this point. So I'm glad it was good that he stayed at home and let somebody else present Best Actress.
So. Yeah. I don't really have a comment about that. I guess it was better him not to be there, I guess, when he's in the middle of all that, those court proceedings and all that kind of stuff. But we haven't even mentioned that yet. Baby steps, but that whole like the Me Too movement, the Time's Up, amazing. We haven't even talked about Frances McDormand's acceptance speech and her saying,
I was so moved. It was such an incredible moment because I don't think at any point like when she says, "Okay, I have something to say," and she got super serious, I was like, "Oh my God, she's gonna go down."
Yeah.
And for her to have everybody, all the female nominees stand up, it was kind of shocking because there
Yeah.
weren't that many people standing up. And I'm like, wow, I thought there'd be more of us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And then when she finished off her speech by saying inclusion rider, and then like kind of like there was a mic drop moment, and then everybody just like rushed to their computers and like Googled, what's inclusion rider? What does it mean? So yeah, it means that the actor during their contract negotiations that they can request diversity in the cast and the crew, just like
that's
a
such a
diverse representation. Yeah.
I'm so glad that she said it because I don't think at any point, unless you maybe know more about film laws, that that is such a thing. I certainly didn't have any idea that that was a.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a clause that actors could sort of fight for, but I think it makes sense. It's not saying that there should be a certain percentage of this minority, or there should be like, you know, certain representation of this. It's like just saying it broadly across a diverse representation. Just be open to it, I think. So no, I think that was a really nice way to end the night. Like a nice way to, like an awesome way to end her speech with the mic drop moment, and then just a cool way to end the night. Like, I mean, end the night and then finish up with Best Picture. I thought that was really cool.
Game changer. Love it.
Cool. All right. It is 8:59. We have been chatting for nearly 1 hour now. I think it's time to wrap it up. Any final thoughts? Any final notes on the Oscars for this year?
Overall great. Even very expected on all levels. I guess one snub would be a Baby Driver. I wish it got a little bit more love. Also because I just love Edgar Wright and all his films. And besides that, you know, it was a really great year. Nothing too surprising. Everything kind of went by the books. Hopefully next year they can spice it up, possibly. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I thought it was a really safe year. I thought all the music performances were really great. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more humor. Maybe just it felt like the atmosphere was quite heavy in the room amongst all the presenters. I would have just, I mean, even though they were reading their cues and they were making sort of a few light jokes here and there, I just would have liked to have seen it, the whole thing kind of feel a little bit loosen up a little bit. But yeah, no, it was a fun show from what I saw. Like I said, I didn't see the whole thing, but I did think it was a really fun Oscars. I love the Oscars. I really do. I know a lot of people, you know, don't like it and think it's old white guys and they're sick of the whole system, but I have fun with it. And I also love about the Oscars that it gets like the broader public, people who aren't like movie geeks and movie lovers. It gets everybody kind of involved. And even if you haven't seen all the Best Picture nominated films, like I find that everybody knows or has heard of them and has kind of like an opinion. So it's also a time of the year that like I can chat with anybody, you know, and we can just chat movies, even if they haven't seen them all or are movie fans, if that makes sense. Cool. So thank you so much for joining me. Finally, my first ever live stream.
I've been waiting for this moment because I know, oh my God, don't even get me started. Like scheduling and everything.
I know. But for my first ever live stream on the roll credits, there was no one else that I wanted to do it with apart from you, because you're my live stream queen, girl. You do live streams so good. You like just like stream of consciousness. You just say what's in your head, and I love it. I want to do more live streams. And
yeah, we should. It is fun. It's definitely.
And you're right. It is kind of easy because there is no editing, and
it's amazing. I also love it because you get to talk with other people, and I feel like you don't really get to hear different feedbacks right away. and I feel like it's just a little bit more engaging.
Yeah, it's true. So thanks everybody for watching, for commenting along with our discussion. It's so exciting. It's really fun to see a live chat feed. I've never sort of been able to like chat and then see live comments come up about what we're talking about, and it's really engaging, and it's a different way to kind of have a chat. I hope I get to do more of these because it's fun. So where can people find more of your work if they want to hit you up?
So I run my YouTube channel called So's Real Thoughts. The link is down below, I think. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. I'm like social media queen. So
yeah, you do good on your Insta stories. So does really great Insta stories. She always takes us along when she goes to see movies. We always see her parking her car and walking to the theater, and her thoughts as she's going into the theater. And then when she comes out, and it's usually really late at night, like 1 a.m., she'll like be vlogging on her phone on her Insta stories as she's walking to her car, so she doesn't feel so alone.
Just in case anything happens. Like, this is where I was at.
I love it. I love it. So do follow her on Instagram. Sub to her on YouTube. I'm sure people are ready. But yeah, thanks again. Enjoy your weekend. Like I said, it's already Saturday for me. My weekend's already started.
Yeah, bright and early. I'm just like, ugh.
I know. It's 9 a.m. here. It's time to get my weekend going. All right. Thanks, and thanks everyone for watching. Bye.